Have you ever lain awake at night, the clock ticking louder than your heartbeat, exhaustion pulling at you like a tide, yet sleep slipping further away into the shadows? For so many older adults, insomnia isn't just a fleeting annoyance. It's a quiet thief, stealing the stillness of night, leaving you restless in a world that seems to dream without you. You toss, you turn, your body pleads for rest while your mind dances with echoes of the day, worries, memories, the ache of time, and you wonder with a heavy heart, will I ever sink into that sweet, deep slumber again, the kind that wraps you like a mother's arms? The frustration simmers, the longing deepens, a silent prayer for peace unanswered. Maybe you've reached for pills, their promises bitter on your tongue, or rituals that fade into routine, leaving you hollow. But what if the answer wasn't locked away in a sterile bottle or a clockwork regimen? What if it was waiting warm and simple, on your plate? A tender offering from the earth, a whisper of hope to cradle you back to the rest you've earned. Doctors have spent years tracing the delicate threads between what we nourish ourselves with and how we sleep, and their discovery is a quiet revelation, a balm for the soul. Certain foods can transform your nights, especially as the years pile on. In this journey, we're diving into 5 doctor-recommended foods, scientifically proven to ease insomnia in older adults. Each a gentle hero, working their magic by boosting melatonin, lifting serotonin, and soothing your weary, weathered nerves. No harsh edges, no daunting overhaul, just everyday miracles you can fold into your life like a cherished recipe passed down. Stay with me to the end, because you'll not only uncover these foods but also the tender, wondrous science behind them. Insights that might rewrite your restless nights into something restful, something sacred, a return to the sleep that feels like home. Let's begin, because your nights matter, your peace matters, and you deserve a sleep that holds you like a long-lost friend. Number 1. Cherries, nature's lullaby. Imagine a fruit so small it nestles in your palm, yet so mighty it can hush the chaos of a sleepless night with the softness of a lullaby. Cherries, those tart, ruby jewels, might just be your new bedtime companion, a gift from nature's orchard to sing you to rest. Not the sweet ones you savor at summer picnics, but the tangy tart cherries, bursting with a secret that feels like a miracle. They're one of the richest natural sources of melatonin, the hormone that drapes your body in the velvet of sleep. As we age, our melatonin dims, a fading lantern leaving us lost in the dark, but cherries step in like a gentle hand on your shoulder, guiding you back to the rhythm you've missed. Take Margaret, 68, from a quiet town in Vermont, where the hills roll green and the air smells of pine. For years, she'd lie awake, watching the moon climb the sky through her bedroom window, her mind a tangle of worries, bills piling like snow, grandkids growing too fast, the ghost of her late husband's laugh. Sleep was a stranger, a distant memory she chased with weary eyes. Then her doctor, with a knowing smile, mentioned tart cherry juice, a simple fix for a heavy heart. Skeptical but desperate, Margaret poured a glass one evening, the tartness puckering her lips like a first kiss, a taste of hope. That night, she drifted off within an hour. 84 minutes more sleep, studies say, deeper and fuller, her breath steady for the first time in years. A 2012 study in the European Journal of Nutrition backs her story. Adults sipping tart cherry juice twice daily slept longer, their nights richer, their mornings a soft glow. Margaret felt it, a battle softened into a gift, a reclaiming of rest she thought was lost forever. Why do cherries sing this lullaby? Beyond melatonin, they're woven with antioxidants, anthocyanins, that quiet inflammation, a hidden thief of sleep that gnaws at your peace. They carry tryptophan too, coaxing serotonin to bloom like spring flowers, then melatonin to follow, a cascade of calm washing over you. Dr. Ellen Harper, a sleep neurologist with decades of compassion, says, tart cherries don't just add melatonin, they rekindle your body's memory of how to make it, a natural harmony we lose with age. For Margaret, it became a ritual, a morning sip to greet the day, an evening glass by the fire, sometimes a handful of dried cherries cradled in her hands like tiny promises. No grogginess, no fog, just rest, pure and steady, a lifeline to mornings where she woke not just alive, but renewed. The benefit? It's freedom. Freedom from the endless wrestle with wakefulness. Freedom to greet the dawn with eyes unclouded by fatigue. If you've ached for sleep that comes softly, that holds you without demand, cherries might be your melody, a natural lullaby from the orchard to your soul, a tender bridge back to the nights you deserve. Number 2. Almonds, the quiet strength of magnesium. Almonds sit unassuming in a bowl, their earthy crunch a humble facade for a power that eases you into sleep like a steady hand on a trembling shoulder. They're not just a snack, they're a balm, a quiet strength rich in magnesium, a mineral that whispers peace to your muscles and mind, unwinding the knots of a day well lived. As we age, magnesium slips through our fingers like sand, leaving nerves jittery and sleep shallow, a fragile thread easily snapped. But almonds bring it back, a gentle anchor to still the storm within. Picture Walter, 71, from a sunlit suburb in California, where the palm trees sway and the air hums with warmth. Nights were his foe, his legs restless as if still pacing the docks of his youth, his thoughts a whirl of old fishing trips and chores left undone. Sleep was a tease, hovering just out of reach. A friend, over coffee in a sun-dappled cafe, suggested almonds with a grin. "Nuts for sleep, Walt?" He laughed it off but tried a handful before bed, the crunch a small rebellion against his sleepless fate. Soon, he was sleeping through the night, his body relaxed like the tide going out, his mind at ease for the first time in years. A 2018 study in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences echoes this gift. Older adults eating magnesium-rich foods slept deeper, woke less, their nights a smoother sea under a kinder sky. Walter felt the shift, less tension pulling at his bones, more dreams painting his sleep, a quiet victory over the dark. What's the magic woven into these little gems? Magnesium calms neurotransmitters, soothing the buzz of a busy brain, while tryptophan lifts serotonin, paving a golden path for melatonin to follow. Dr. Samuel Ortiz, a nutrition expert with a voice warm as the almonds he champions, notes, older adults often lack magnesium, and it shows in their restless nights. Almonds are a simple fix, natural, gentle, profound, a bridge to rest that doesn't demand a toll. Walter made it a habit, a handful raw under the evening sun, or blended into a smoothie with a splash of milk, the texture a comfort against his tongue. No spikes, no crashes, just a quiet strength settling into his bones, a steady pulse of calm. The benefit is twofold. Your body unwinds, yes, but so does your spirit, released from the grip of sleepless strain, free to sink into a rest that feels like strength reborn. If your nights feel restless, almonds might be your anchor, a small bite toward a big rest, a whisper of resilience from the earth to your heart. Number 3. Oatmeal, the warm embrace of comfort. Oatmeal isn't just breakfast, it's a hug in a bowl, a sleep-soothing staple that wraps you in the warmth of memory and care. It's more than a meal, it's a ritual of comfort, loaded with nutrients that cradle your body into rest. Complex carbs to steady your blood sugar like a lullaby's rhythm, tryptophan to spark serotonin like a flicker of joy, and a touch of melatonin to seal the night with peace. It's the food of grandmothers and quiet mornings, now a tender ally for your sleepless soul. Consider Louise, 66, from a rainy corner of Washington, where the evergreens bow under the drizzle. After losing her sister, sleep became a ghost, nights stretched thin with grief, her heart heavy with the weight of loss, her mind replaying their last laugh. She'd stare at the ceiling, the rain a mournful drum against her window, longing for rest to mend her. Her doctor, gentle as the mist, suggested a small bowl of oatmeal before bed, a remedy so simple it felt like a prayer. Louise stirred in cinnamon, the steam rising like a memory of childhood kitchens, and ate it slow, savoring the warmth against her lips. That night, she slept, longer, softer, a balm over her fractured heart, a bridge back to peace she thought had slipped away. Studies show oats boost serotonin production, calming the mind like a soft hand on a fevered brow, while their steady carbs prevent the sugar dips that jolt you awake in the witching hours. Louise found more than sleep, she found solace, a moment of stillness in the storm. Dr. Clara Monroe, a sleep researcher with a voice like a hearth fire, explains, oatmeal's warmth relaxes you physically, a hug you can feel, while its nutrients work chemically to ease you into rest. It's a double gift, a harmony of body and soul. For Louise, it was deeper, a tether to the sister she missed, a ritual that whispered, "You're still here, still whole." Try it an hour before bed, plain, or with a drizzle of honey, a sprinkle of nuts, the spoon a quiet companion. The benefit is profound. It's not just sleep, but healing, a chance to lay down the day's burdens, to wake with a heart lighter, a spirit steadied. If your nights feel jagged with sorrow or strain, oatmeal might smooth them, a warm embrace from the kitchen to your dreams, a soft echo of love in every bite. Number 4. Salmon, the deep calm of omega-3s. Salmon glides onto your plate, pink and rich as a sunset, carrying more than flavor. It's a sleep savior, a deep well of omega-3 fatty acids that don't just nourish your heart but cradle your brain in calm. These healthy fats boost DHA levels, amplifying melatonin and soothing the restless currents of your nights, offering older adults a lifeline to a rest that runs deep and true, a river of peace beneath the surface. Think of Henry, 70, from a coastal town in Maine, where the sea whispers secrets and the gulls cry at dawn. Retirement brought sleeplessness. His mind replayed old boat repairs, the creak of rigging in storms past, his body refusing to settle into the stillness he'd earned. Sleep was a shore he couldn't reach. A nutritionist, with salt in her hair and wisdom in her eyes, suggested salmon twice a week. Henry grilled it with lemon, the scent filling his small kitchen like a promise of the tide, and that night, he slept like the sea itself, steady, unbroken, a current carrying him through till dawn. A nutrient study confirms this grace. Omega-3s enhance sleep patterns, especially as melatonin wanes with age, knitting rest into something solid, something whole. Henry felt renewed, less fog clouding his mornings, more clarity sharpening his days, a fisherman's strength reborn in quiet slumber. Why does salmon hold this deep calm? Omega-3s reduce inflammation, easing the tension that keeps you tethered to wakefulness, while tryptophan lifts serotonin, a golden thread to sleep's hormone. Dr. Rachel Lynn, a dietary sleep expert with a voice soft as the waves, says, "Salmon's a powerhouse. It feeds your body and your rest, a dual nourishment that older adults crave." Henry paired it with greens, a simple supper that became his ritual, each bite a step toward the deep, a reclaiming of nights he'd lost to the wind. The benefit is a treasure, not just longer sleep, but a richer life. Mornings where you rise not weary but ready, your spirit buoyed by rest that flows like the sea. No pills, no haze, just the ocean's calm in every bite. If your sleep feels shallow, salmon might dive deeper, a gentle current to carry you through, a taste of tranquility from the waves to your weary soul. Number 5. Lavender tea, the sigh of serenity. Lavender tea isn't just a drink, it's a sigh, a fragrant whisper that melts the day away like wax under a flame, a potion of peace steeped in centuries of care. It's been a remedy for restless souls since time forgot, and now science lifts its song. Its compound, linalool, calms the nervous system like a breeze through the fields, quiets racing thoughts, and invites sleep like a soft dusk settling over the hills. For older adults, it's a tender escape, a bloom of serenity in a cup. Imagine Rose, 69, from a dusty plains town in Oklahoma, where the wind hums through the grasses and the stars burn bright. Widowed and weary, her nights were a maze of memories and what-ifs, her husband's voice in the quiet, the plans they'd never finish. Sleep was a dream she couldn't catch, her heart heavy with the weight of alone. A friend, with a knowing nod, gifted her lavender tea, and Rose brewed a cup, purple blooms swirling in steam, the scent rising like a prayer. 30 minutes later, she sank into sleep, her mind still for the first time in years, her body soft against the sheets. A Journal of Advanced Nursing study found older adults drinking lavender tea fell asleep faster, woke less, Rose refreshed. Rose lived it, her nights softer than the Oklahoma dusk, her days brighter with a rested glow. Dr. Naomi Ellis, a holistic sleep specialist with a warmth that feels like dawn, shares, lavender doesn't force sleep, it invites it, easing the anxiety that older adults carry like a second skin, a gentle hand to guide them home. Its anti-inflammatory touch soothes aches too, a quiet bonus for bodies worn by time, easing the creaks that stir you awake. Rose sipped it nightly, the warmth a ritual of care, no caffeine to jolt, no bitterness to linger, just serenity steeping into her bones. The benefit is a balm, not just rest, but restoration, a chance to lay down the day's chatter, to wake with a mind clear and a heart lifted, a peace that lingers like the scent on her pillow. If your mind races when the lights dim, if your nights feel loud with unspoken thoughts, lavender tea might be your hush, a gentle bloom to cradle you home, a sigh of stillness from the fields to your soul. Take a breath, deep, slow, like the first one after a long night's rest. Let these 5 gifts settle into your heart: cherries, almonds, oatmeal, salmon, lavender tea. Insomnia can feel like a relentless guest, a shadow stealing your nights, dimming your days with a weariness that clings. But it's not your fate, it's not your forever. These foods aren't just science, they're hope, woven from nature's hands to yours, a tender promise that rest can return. Margaret found her lullaby in cherries, Walter his strength in almonds, Louise her comfort in oatmeal, Henry his calm in salmon, Rose her peace in lavender, each a story of struggle softened, each a step back to the sleep they thought was lost. Dr. Ellen Harper reminds us, sleep isn't just nighttime, it's built in your day, in the choices you make to nourish yourself, body and soul. You don't need much: a cherry's tart kiss, an almond's quiet crunch, a warm spoonful of oats, a fish's rich depth, a tea's fragrant sigh. These aren't fixes, they're friends, companions on a journey back to rest. Which calls to you? A taste, a texture, a memory it might stir. which might rewrite your nights into something gentle, something yours. Share it below. I'm here, listening to your hopes, your tries, your quiet victories over the dark. If this stirred you, hit like. It's a nod that says, this matters to me, this moves me. Subscribe, tap the bell. We've got more to explore together, more ways to mend your nights. Pass this to someone sleepless, a neighbor, a kin, a heart needing hope. Let's spread this gentle cure like seeds on the wind. Your support keeps this alive, a circle of care growing wider, warmer. Because you deserve nights that hold you, dreams that heal, rest, at last, your own, a treasure reclaimed from the shadows.